Good morning, Bankrupt Society. It is Sean here, and I'm coming at you from Dreamworld today. So we're not here for the rides, unfortunately, but we are here to meet with a couple of others for the motorculture event down at the Gold Coast. So just a pre-meet here, and then we'll cruise down, but it's going to be an epic event. Apparently there's going to be like 10,000 people or so there, so hopefully we get in. So stay tuned, come with us, and let's check out some sick cars. One of the first to arrive was Dan with his Century, followed closely by Sean in his clean Chaser. We'll have a look at that in a sec. Then came Joshy in his Majesta, and of course Johnny and Holly. So coming back to Sean's Chaser, this is a JZX 100 Tourer 5. What makes this car really special is that only 50 units were ever made in this two-tone 2CF colour scheme. And on top of that, his is a manual, which is even rarer. Wow. We finally made it to the Gold Coast Sports Precinct, and we were lucky that we got in pretty early and got some spots. One of the first cars that caught my eye at this show was this early 80s Toyota Crown Royal Saloon. The interior is really cool with these doilies and this dash cover, and also he built a bed inside the boot.
That's cool, you've actually put a bed in here.
Walking down the row of Crowns, we reached the Toyota Aristos, and the purple one at the end here that's bagged was definitely an eye catcher. It's definitely a car that you can tell that has got a lot of work done on it, and come and have a look at this engine bay here, and that says it all really. And at the very end here, we have this Toyota Crown Athlete Hybrid with one of the best fitments I've ever seen on a Crown. Have a look at this.
Leave me alone!
Man, when I see Crowns like mine lowered on its guts, it just really makes me want to get bags for mine. But we'll see what the future holds. Another cool spot was this EK Civic covered in this anime livery. And to be honest with you, I really like the design. And the Suzuki Swift next to it is also an eye catcher as well. One of my favourite generations of the BMW M3, this E30, was beautiful and also quite rare these days. The Cube Hunter sticker on this Nissan Cube made me smile. Spotted this green beast, an FB RX-7. Have a look at this. Now, I'm not an expert on rotaries, but I'm guessing from the number plates this is a naturally aspirated 12A. What do you reckon? Now, I don't know what it is with Kia Stinger and as an airbrush artwork, but you know what? It's different. Always nice to see an R32 GTR. My favourite generation of Corvette, the C5, the last of the Corvettes with the pop up and down headlights. This particular one has the Targa top as well. Really, really cool. This is a mint and really clean example of an S15 Silvia. You can just see how well kept this engine bay is, and if you have a look down here, the fitment is on point. Here we have an AE86 Levin, and if you want to see me drive a Trueno, check out this video. The Pontiac Firebird, or also known as the Fire Chicken by Camaro owners. Two-door WRXs are always a fan favourite with this STI version 5. Can someone tell me where you get these giant teddies from? I don't understand where they come from. The A90 Supra Club is here, and I'm not going to make any BMW jokes. I swear. Maybe. This is Tom's bagged Supra, and I absolutely love it. Now this little weapon here was something to behold. Who puts a Haltech dash in a bloody Ford Anglia? What the hell? This thing is such an underrated build and didn't get much attention at the show, but the work put into this car was phenomenal, and you know it's going to go fast. What do you do when you have a 1934 Ford Model B? Well, you put a honkin' big Hemi in it, don't you? Damn. Laid out on its guts was this 1967 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, and we just take a couple of moments to just have a look at how insane this car is. Let's start with the colour. It had this gorgeous metallic paint on it, and the camera just doesn't do it justice at all. Now moving on to the interior, it's one of the cleanest interiors of a classic car I've ever seen. Just the white leather, and yeah, just everything about this interior was spectacular. Now coming around the back, you see this insane air suspension setup within the Cadillac logo. Have a look at how clean that is. I had to put the camera on ultra wide angle to just fit the whole car in frame. Gotham City's finest made an appearance in their Ford Crown Victoria. The amount of detail these guys have put into their Crown Victoria police car is second to none. They've even got firearms in the back here, just like in true American fashion. There's even a full police computer on board next to the driver. Even the boot has some additional cop gear in it. They even took the time to put detail into the police logo. Flame Beetle, need I say more? This stunning Jaguar Mark IV really showed the class this company had back in its heyday. Beautiful blue on this 1971 Pontiac GTO. Chevys from the 50s were truly works of art, and this Styline Deluxe was no exception. The Yes Daddy XR6 Turbo Ute, such an eye-catcher of a car. The wrap is already insane and turns mad heads, and if you have a look at this engine bay here, it matches the exterior of the car, and under the bonnet is an awesome painting of Goku. This is something you don't see often, and it's an HSV Coupe 4, and I just thought it was a funny looking Monero. Awesome colour on this VE Maloo. This here is an SRT Hellcat, and while they're very popular and very common in the US, they're very, very rare here in Australia. I don't think I've seen a cleaner Sandman than this HZ right here. The first thing you see is this very shiny engine, followed by this airbrush artwork of these lions, and also a really clean white interior. The back of this car is really just as impressive as well, and inside you've got this nice towel of the car with some speakers, and you also see IV drips, but of Bundy Rum and Smirnoff. How awesome is that? An absolute icon in Mercedes design history is the Mercedes 190. We all know this car best as the 190 Evo. Got some blues, reds, oranges, greens, yellows, you name it. It's like a goddamn Skittle convention here. Something you don't see often here is a Ferrari 348 Challenge. I see this car as a blend of Testarossa and F355, and to top it off, plates to tell everyone that you track your car. An absolutely stunning spec on this 992 GT3, and I just love the purple on bronze wheels. Just such a nice combo. Some track weapons here, including a GT3 and Lotus Exeges. Pulling up to the function was this C8 Stingray. Chevy really nailed the design of the C8, making it look even more like a supercar than previous generations, thanks to it finally having a mid-engine layout. The 720S Spider, the perfect car for that Queensland weather. A gorgeous Bumblebee spec 992 GT3 RS with the plates to match. The 650S Spider, such a beautiful looking car and in my opinion, quite underrated. The Porsche 356, a timeless classic. Kermit made an appearance, but as a 991.2 GT3 RS. This is the all-new Aston Martin DB12, and what a gorgeous looking car this is. And in my opinion, Aston Martin doesn't miss at all with their designs. This here is a Tech-Art GT Sport based on a 987 Cayman. Tech-Art specialises in transforming Porsches, making them look even more aggressive and perform even better. You certainly can't miss this colour at all on this 720S Spider. Absolutely in love with this spec. A matte black Lamborghini Urus, very gangster. And to go with it, a matte black Aventador Roadster. Man, Lambos suit that colour so well. An incredible red on this Aventador S, and it's all opened up for all to see. Just imagine taking the top of this car and driving around Queensland. Ain't that the dream? Something that's quite rare in Australia are Audi S1s, and they look great in Vegas yellow like this one. Here we have a C8 RS6, my dream car, except this one's a very interesting spec with the red on the gold wheels. It's probably not to everyone's taste and definitely not mine, but I can appreciate it. I can't lie though, the wheels are pretty cool. And this is the C7 facelift RS6, the meanest wagon out there. I'm really liking what people in Queensland are doing with i20Ns. This one is really sick. This is hands down the most gorgeous EG Civic I've ever seen. EG Civics remind me of two things.
I just went in there, and Hector is gonna be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that, he just came into Harry's and he ordered 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec system exhaust.
B16A はエンジンの最高傑作だ。本気を出せば片遅れの 4AG エンジンにスタートダッシュで遅れを取るわけないぜ。
If you have a look at the intercooler and then come over to the engine bay, then you can see it is turboed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an expert on Honda engines, so if anyone knows more, please comment. But aside from that, we can really appreciate how clean that engine bay is. And if we come down here, we can just see the fitment and the wheels on this wide body here. And coming over to the rear here, you can see it is very, very fat. This is in fact a Rocket Bunny wide body, and I didn't know they made them for EG Civics, but there you go. Another gorgeous S15 on what looks like VSKFs. And here's another really cool one. This is why S15s are my favourite generation of the Silvia. A super clean Evo 8 without the wing and on some really nice wheels. A Holden Rodeo, but make it slammed and have suicide doors and, yeah, green. This is one of the craziest ute builds I've seen, and just the amount of detail in it and uniqueness really makes you appreciate the amount of effort that's gone into this car. Coming around to the front here, and you can see this is RB swapped. How crazy is that? I'll be honest, Jeeps aren't my thing, but this one was pretty tough. Next to it though is a Suzuki Sierra, and these little things are awesome. This here is a Zenki S14, and one of the first things you notice is the rear tyres. Holy moly. This thing's not here to mess around. What's interesting about this car is it looks like it's got bolt-in panels. So this is the Zenki version of the S14, which pretty much means it's the pre-facelift, and the Corki is the facelift. I love how this thing's cosplaying as a Camry. Sitting behind the S14 was this nice 1960 Chevy Impala. This 1940 Ford Coupe hot rod pulled up, and you bet it's got suicide doors. Really interesting how they squished that motor into such a small space. Ooh, I love me an old Ford F-150. A nice example of a Shelby Cobra replica. Not exactly sure why there were traffic cones next to it, but this thing was really nice, and the interior was all nice and modern as well. Up here in Queensland, you're pretty much guaranteed to see an R34 GTR at any car meet. Bit of a flex, not gonna lie. And next to it is an Evo 9, my favourite JDM car. I really like lowriders, and this Lincoln Town Car is absolutely pimpin'. It's a bit of a shame the lowrider scene in Australia is quite small. Really wish there were more of them here. So awesome to see some sex spec cars here, and this car here is famously known as Mr. CRX.
What you doing out here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, hella ass.
This car in particular has been in the sex spec scene since the early 2000s, since the auto salon days. I was a toddler back in those days, so I don't really remember the scene, but I really appreciate it, and there's a lot of stories to be told from that era. I also really like how well this car's been kept for 20 or so years since the sex spec era. Like full red suede interior? Hell yeah. Loving the fake aquarium in the back, adding to that early 2000s vibe. Next up is a sex spec RX-7. As you can see here, this thing is on some fat chrome Simmons. And I also like the indented RX-7 logo at the front here. I think what's inside the car though is the main showstopper. The insane dash cluster and steering column surrounded by all those speakers. And if you go around to the back here, guess what? There's even more speakers and screens. This thing is an insane setup. I don't think a sex spec car is fully complete without a hectic sound system. Here's another look of the driver's side. And yes, this car is shiny both outside and inside with this insanely clean engine bay. Definitely a unique JDM gem. A humongous German car at the show, this BMW M8 Grand Coupe. Really love the styling of the Grand Coupe, and it's probably still lighter than the new M5. A unique little Italian car, this Alfa Romeo 75, probably the cleanest one I've seen. Bone stock R35 with a Liberty Walk silhouette wing. A very nice E36 323i. A fully blacked out RS6. Yes please. This was one of Motorculture's giveaway cars, and whoever won it is a very lucky person. Next to it is one of my other dream cars, a Ferrari 488 Pista. I mean, how can you not think that's gorgeous? Come on. I've seen a few Liberty Walk cars before, but this is the first time I've seen a Liberty Walk Supra. How cool. And of course the Liberty Walk Silhouette GTR. Here we have a G82 M4, and right next to it is a G80 M3, both red and gold. Sick colour on this S15. And a sick colour on this Supra. Man, I'm an absolute sucker for JZ powered sedans. God damn. Okay, cool. OMF mattresses as a stall. Nice. Wait, their company car is a Rocket Bunny R35? Crazy! Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a mattress from them now. That's good marketing. an old school D2 Audi S8. He's a gangster. Look, I'm not a fan of the new BMW M2, but when this one pulled up, I think my mind changed a little bit. This is what the event was looking like at peak attendance, and I don't think it quite reached 10,000 people, but there was still a lot of people there.
That's not a BMW. Go with your own way.
Well, that's it from us. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give us a like and subscribe to our channel, and also follow our socials and visit our website for more. Until next time.